Hello everyone, it's Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. And today I'm actually having the unofficial final of London Regionals against Nathan Mclewee. Let me explain. This weekend I went to London Regionals, made it all the way to the final with this very deck. And in the final, Nathan had to catch his last train to make it home before actually playing out the final. So he scooped to me. He is playing Night March. And essentially we discussed it. He was going to play the final, but obviously it meant that it would be a lot more difficult for him to make it home that evening. He'd also had 3 or 4 friends with him as well, so it would have been awkward for all of them to get home. And basically he asked if I had played Night March earlier in the day, and I had done. I'd beaten 3 on the way to the final, 2 in Swiss, 1 in Top Cut as well. So he was basically thinking, you know what, I could stay around here for another hour, potentially have to make it awkward to get home and still end up losing. So I'll just scoop to you and we'll have a gentleman's agreement that I would save some packs for him so that if he could beat me on PTCGO in a best of 3, then he'll be getting those, and I'll also send the trophy his way as well. So a pretty cool idea, I think, so that we actually get to see how the games would have played out. It's going to be slightly different. It's going to be best of 3, unlimited time limit. So we're always going to see 3 full games, which is pretty cool. Additionally, obviously PTCGO has to flip a coin each game, and we want, after game 1, the outcome to be chosen by the losing player each time. So we're going to have to navigate that. I'm going to message him on Facebook or whatever to see if he wants to go first or second, or tell him if I want to go first or second going into games 2 and 3 if it does come to that. So it should be pretty interesting. He's a good player playing Night March, so it's probably going to be a fast-paced pretty much 3 games or 2 or 3 games depending on how it goes, so it should be good. I hope you guys all enjoy this. I'll be discussing this deck list in more detail in the full report that I do. I think you guys are fans of the reports that I've been doing these last couple of weeks, and this is the 3rd time I've been able to top cut a regional. This time I was actually able to win the whole thing, officially at least. Let's see if I can go on and beat him in these games, so stick around and we'll be hopping into the games shortly. Okay guys, I've just added Nathan and we are going to challenge him now. Just to show you, this is the deck I'll be playing. It is the same 60 cards, so that's just a bit of confirmation there for you. There we are. I think, it doesn't, it's a positive deck anyway for me, this matchup, so if I was going to cheat, it would make it, so I would make a deck pretty much the same as this. So there we are. I've sent the challenge, and hopefully we'll be getting into this in a moment. So game 1 of 3. Here we go. Night March. Unlimited time, so we do have time to scout out our prizes and all of that good stuff. It should be nice and chilled out. And here we are, getting into it. So he is a bloke, Nathan, but I think he's used someone else's account. So he gets to flip the coin here, and he loses. I lost the coin flip, so he's going to choose whether he wants to go first or second. It's actually a bit of a awkward thing. He actually chooses me to go first, and I think that's a pretty intelligent play from him. Especially because I started Yveltal. Yveltal's not one I actually want to lead with if I'm going second, because it's going to be the first thing to get knocked out. I think my favourable card to get rid of would be a Combi, if anything. So, first things first, I'm going to play Battle Compressor. It looks like we have a pretty decent hand here. And first thing I want to do is scout the deck, as you would. I'm going to check my bat count. That's one of the most important things. I have both my Crobats. I have 3 Zubats. I think I only saw 2 Golbats. 1 is in hand. So the bat line is here. I think I also want to check my energy count. It's also going to be important. One tech that we have to be aware of that Nathan plays is actually a Target Whistle. And that's so that he can pick up Shamans. So you'll notice that I will not be dumping Shamans pretty much all game. I'm just going to also scout some other things. I'm going to put a Darkness Energy in the discard pile, just for when we do start using Oblivion Wing, I get some extra attachments. And we're going to be using Sycamore anyway. I'm dumping quite a few other supporters, some things that I would probably throw in there at some point anyway. I think I want to throw Lysander in there. I need to do a VS Seek account, actually. That's a huge one. And because it is unlimited time, we do have a lot of options to do this. Looks like 3 VS Seeker, so 1 is prized. So there we are. I think those are the first things I want to dump. I think I could even be safe throwing a Vespiquen away, just to get some Pokemon in the discard pile. Better to get the Vespiquen in than the Combee, because I want to still look for basics this turn. So let's use the Trainer's Mail, hoping to get Ultra Ball is the main thing I want here. We just hit Muscle Band and Compressor. I think I can Compressor away some more Compressors here. You saw that I was pretty happy with everything else I discarded. So now I think everything else in the deck is fairly good to draw into. So we may as well just get rid of some more stuff. And mainly it's going to be Compressors that we get rid of here. Those are the things that are really dead weight in the matchup. So because we can't attack this turn, I think it's worth attaching the double colourless so that we can try and retreat out of this Yveltal if we draw into a Combee here. So let's use the Sycamore. Looking for some Combee and some Bats is the main thing. And we do just hit 1 Zubat. Because we have the Crobat and Golbat in hand, I think I actually want to keep Yveltal active, especially because he has Shaman. It means he has to find like a one-off switch in his deck or something like that. It does mean that he's probably going to have to fish for quite a few things this turn, so let's pass it over to him. A pretty slow turn 1 for us, but we were able to develop a Zubat, which is very important in this matchup. So let's see what he can come up with. I'm just going to write a couple of things down for my prizes from what I caught early on. We're going to see a VS Seeker. Oh no, a Trainer's Mail, sorry, for an Acrobike. Now, you're going to see the speed and power of these Night March decks. Oftentimes they're playing 4 Mail, 4 Acrobike, 4 Roller Skates, 4 VS Seeker, 4 Shaman even. So he's probably going to be able to mill through as much of the deck as he wants, really, on the very first turn. And that's before we even consider what supporter he uses for the turn. We see him get rid of a Super Scoop Up. That's something else he's going to play. It means he can pick up Shamans again. It means he can also pick up Milotic, which is the tech that I believe he is playing. We see an early Lysander, and that's pretty interesting. Targeting the Zubat very early, even though Yveltal is just as much a threat in my opinion. We see Pumpkaboo come down. That's the one he wants to be benching more than Joltik. Joltik should be the one hitting the discard pile because it has a lot less HP. And wow, very, very slow from him. That's pretty good for us. I don't feel like I need to Sycamore this turn. I think just developing... we don't really gain much from... Well, we can gain something from evolving here. I think I'd rather keep Crobat though. And not Sycamore it away because it's so valuable. So I think... We do have Lysander, but obviously we couldn't hit Dark Energy unless we risk it with a Shaman, which I don't feel like doing at all because that's how we can end up losing this game. So first thing I want to do is put the damage on Pumpkaboo. It's pretty irrelevant on Shaman. He can Sky Return out of there, and I'm really gonna, if I'm ever gonna catch her up Shaman, I'm gonna have the one shot with something like a Vespiquen anyway. So even Yveltal with Muscle Band gets me there. So I think what I want to do is just Ultra Ball away the Birch and the Sycamore. And I think I want to find... I could go for Combee just as a sacrificial lamb here. I could also develop another Bat or look for another Yveltal, depending on how aggro I want to go. Here we have a better view of our Pokemon. I want to see how many Combee we prized actually. So we prized 1 Combee as well. Just going to write that down quickly. And we prized a Shaman, of course. That's actually quite good for us. I think it's pretty much the safest thing to be in our prizes. Because I won't be playing it down unless I can Sky Return it back to hand the very same turn. In the interest of keeping my Bat around, I think I actually want to find Combee here. Forcing another Lysander out of him would be kind of cool. We can obviously free retreat out of the Golbat. I don't have the energy to attach for a Swoop Across. Swoop Across could be kind of cool because then I could set up a Crobat. But, you know, if he is going to bench any Feebas or any other 30 HP Pokemon like the Joltik, then he also has to Hex this very same turn. And based on his slow start, I feel like it looks kind of unlikely to me. So Combee's the best option for me to put in the active here. I could also potentially have kept the Vespiquen in hand just for the guaranteed free retreat next turn if he again passes. But I'm happy to just evolve and Sycamore next turn. Even if he does Hex me, I would still probably evolve, because we do play AZ, and also we have the Skill Dive attack that again can target down other things. So wow, we just see it pass. Very, very slow from him. We unfortunately pick up a Golbat from the top deck. We've already discarded one, so I feel like I'd have to Birch here if I was to use a supporter. And I feel like I want to keep the pressure going as best I can here. So here, this 30 damage, I think I'm going to continue to go for Pumpkaboo. I, again, don't see much value in going for Shaman, but if I can't get the one hit here. So we are spending a VS Seeker so that we can keep Golbat, because I want to develop another bat line this game, I feel. So let's go for that. Hopefully we get heads here. We do get tails, but we hit Darkness Energy, and this is a big thing. It means we can get more attacks going this turn. I can attach and switch into Golbat. How would he then... yeah, he'd be left with just Shaman. The other... no, yeah, that's what I want to do. It's kind of weak to... if he's holding on to a bunch of stuff, but based on, you know, Night March isn't trying to do this against us. He has had 2 very slow turns. So I think we may as well just take the prize here by using Skill Dive. Take the first. Looking for VS Seeker would be really nice off of this. And we hit double colourless, so let's cross that off our list. We do have Sycamore in hand. Even if he is able to somehow kill this Crobat, I feel like we're in a strong position now that we have energy to attack with Yveltal next turn. So it's all looking pretty good here. Very slow start from the Night March player, unfortunately. Shaman, probably the worst leads he has. Unfortunately, they do play like a 4 count. So it's something awkward for the Night March player. But, you know, they probably play 2 Feebas, 4 Pumpkaboo, 4 Joltik. So you probably won't start with Shaman all too often, even with that high of a count. So we see Pumpkaboo come onto the bench, then Dimension Valley gets played down. We do see Muscle Band. Where's this going? It's going onto the Shaman, so it could be a Sky Return play here. That Dimension Valley means that we don't need any energy on any more of our Golbats or Crobats that we develop. Even Zubat with Muscle Band can kill Joltix, which is hilarious. So we see the Sycamore. He does play Teammates. That's something to be aware of. We also see the first Milotic hit the discard. Oftentimes they're playing a 2-2 line. And here we see a Battle Compressor as well. I imagine Lampants are going to be hitting the discard pile left, right and centre. Potentially a Hex Maniac if he wants to get one of those in the discard for VS Seekers. Could even be some other tech supporters as well. So he really doesn't need too many Night Marchers to get 1 hits here. He does end up going for the 3 Lampants, so he's not prized any of those. And I need to get a dice out so I can have a counter. Actually, yeah, I may as well. I've got the dice by my side, so that's 5, as you can clearly see. We see an Ultra Ball. Getting rid of 2 other Ultra Balls, I think. That's pretty ugly. 2, 4, 5 still. It might just be for Shaman here. He benches another Pumpkaboo. I think he still needs to develop more Night Marches in the discard if he wants to actually 1-hit us this turn. He might even just stay in Shaman just to be safer here. He does play down another Shaman to get more cards. Obviously, he wants to be attacking to keep up with prize trade. I've taken the initiative, which is pretty bad for him, because I'm never going to play down an EX, and I also have the addition of Bat Snipes here and there, so I feel like I'm in a good spot already this game. We see more Battle Compressor shenanigans going on. Be interesting to see how many he wants to put in the discard pile. He's got the 5. He needs 7 to one-shot Crobat, sorry, because of course the Pumpkaboo doesn't hit for weakness. The Joltik could have done it a lot easier. That's even if he can switch. So yeah, he does put 2 more Night Marchers in, so he's set himself up for the KO next turn. Or this turn, sorry, if he's able to move Shaman and find double colourless energy. I don't know what's in his hand. He's Trainer's Mailing again. Most of these Night Marchers play 1 switch. but they also play Super Scoop Up, so be aware of that. It could be a way of moving Shaman and also help him get more cards. So let's see what he goes for here. We see a VS Seeker go into his hand. He has played Sycamore already, so I'm not too concerned. He does have that teammates in there though. We also see Feebas hit the bench. And Double Colourless does go onto Shaman, so it looks like it's a Sky return this turn. Pretty good for us. I wonder where he's actually going to go here. Very interesting decision. It might even be the other Shaman here. You never know. He does choose just to sack Pumpkaboo, it looks like. Okay, we hit another Combee, which is awesome. Let's bench that. We hit Dark Energy. Well, we already have the Dark Energy, so we're getting a KO with Yveltal. And we can Sycamore. I'm not too worried about losing a DCE. They're not too precious in this matchup. So, we do find another Zubat. I definitely want to bench him down. I want to evolve into Vespiquen. And I have a decision to make. I can... well, first I want to train Smell because there's a potential to get another Yveltal here. And that would be pretty cool. We just hit Muscle Band. That's actually going to help out next turn where I could kill with potentially an Intelligence Gathering, which could be pretty awesome. So, no Double Colourless in the discard pile as of yet. Discard pile, DC is his most important resource. I feel fairly confident that I could, well, if I kill Feebas, there's no way he can take 6 prizes. Unless I somehow can't kill the Pumpkaboos each turn. Because this is my only Yveltal, but I am holding DCE, so 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have to commit the Muscle Band to kill the Pumpkaboo next turn with Vespiquen if I don't go for Oblivion Wing here. The only reason I'm considering not using Oblivion Wing is because we have that AZ in hand, and I could get even more value out of this Crobat. By using Skill Dive this turn, I pretty much just sack the Crobat, and I don't feel prepared to do that simply because we have AZ. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Oblivion Wing, take the knockout thanks to weakness. I'm still ahead in the prize trade, this is one of the most important things, and I'm going to put energy onto Combee. Everything else is going to have free retreat if I can evolve into Golbat next turn. And it also sort of spreads my cost around. We actually pulled Yveltal out of the prizes. That's another one that was good. And it means that, where does he catch her? If he wants to catch her, everything's a threat to him right now. Even the Yveltal is so threatening that I feel like he can't even catch her. Especially because I put that DCE on earlier. It means that if he doesn't deal with it this turn, I could just attach and Muscle Band. Okay, so a bit of a worry here. Connection is starting to go out, but it seems that actions are still being made, so hopefully we don't lose connection. That would really suck. Double Colourless goes onto the Pumpkaboo. We see that VS Seeker get played. Okay, that icon's gone. That's pretty good. Or it means I'm just going to lag out straight away. What does he go for here? Most likely teammates, in my opinion. Oh, I didn't even see it. Ah, it was teammates. There we go. And what does he need? I imagine he might develop Milotic this turn, just so that he has more safety in terms of HP. He probably wants to find another Night Marcher as well, so that he has to assume that I can kill this next turn. I have the Crobat at the very least. I have other things threatening, so I imagine he's going to find another Night Marcher. Most likely another Pumpkaboo because it has the higher HP. Although he has lost 2 of them now. 2, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8. I need to change my counter because I'm talking too much to you guys. There is that 4th Pumpkaboo, so he's using the Pumpkaboos early, and that's kind of okay, kind of not okay, because it's more late game where the Crobat is going to be doing the damage now. So I see his logic, especially because I don't have another Yveltal like revealed on my board right now. I obviously do have one, but it seems decent to me. He actually finds another Feebas, so he's spreading his Feebas around. Trying to make sure he can develop one in the game. Also a really nice play is if he can Milotic, Super Scoop Up Milotic. So I also agree with this second Feebas, if indeed that was the card from the teammates. It might well just be a Night March here. We've seen the use of teammates, so I don't have to worry about Hex next turn. He's asking about attachments. I believe he attached the DCE this turn to the active. I don't know if he's looking to get more cards off of Shaman or something. Hopefully he can see that message. What's he saying? Yeah, new PTCGO can be confusing. Yeah, he definitely attached that this turn because last turn it was the Sky Return play. 100%. It's not PTCGO just being rubbish for once. Yeah, we do just see that Night March attack. For 160 damage, I've been playing with my dice, which is unadvisable because it changed the number. So we have a plethora of free retreaters that we can go into. May as well go into the Vespiquen, because I could go for an Intelligence Gathering this turn to stock up my hand, but because I top deck really nicely and actually find myself another Vespiquen, Yveltal, I can do a nice little play that keeps the pressure right on our opponent here. We can put down Golbat, slapping that onto Feebas, and then we're going to AZ up Crobat, losing that energy, but it really doesn't matter to us because we can Oblivion Wing back wherever we want. And we put down that Zubat, freely retreat into Yveltal, and this energy. We have 2 in the discard pile, so I'm happy to attach 1 more back to my other Yveltal here, taking again the knockout thanks to weakness. And basically, we've set up our board. We're free of any target whistle shenanigans as well right now because of our bench size. And we actually hit Shaman, so I can cross that off my list. It's probably something I won't be playing all game, although we do have DC in hand. So if ever the opportunity arises where we could go Shaman, DCE, potentially even Muscle Band, I might be able to use that to Sky Return back to the hand after getting the benefit of using that setup without keeping a EX Pokemon on our bench. Like I say, the target whistle hasn't come into play just yet because no real good targets for him. You could see I compressed it away. I was actively aware of the fact that he played target whistle. I knew before our game anyway, because Corey Kirkham was playing it in Swiss. So we see a Lysander here, and he goes for the Golbat. It's an alternative to using Hex, I think, and more of a permanent solution. He does sort of need to find a Milotic here, because I still threaten the Golbat that I picked up, and he does indeed find that Milotic, so good plays from Nathan, keeping me out of range for return, at the very least. Now, additionally, I could, seeing as though this Golbat, actually, you know what, this Golbat can always be killing a Feebas here, unless he wants to Ripples into another Milotic to then use another Ripples, which would be very fun. I think that could even have been a better play for more health on his dudes. So it might have been something that he missed, it might have been something that he might even have Super Scoop Up in hand, I'm not sure. But that could have been a good way to keep more HP on his board. He actually benches a Joltik as well, and then goes for a Shaman to set up more cards. He still has a decent sized deck. Nathan's not playing the build that has a bunch of Acrobike, or at least I haven't seen any, not Acrobike, roller skates. So it's a bit more conservative than other builds I've seen. That Super Scoop Up does get Tails, and then we see another Acrobike. Yeah, the classic Luke Burke build is running a much higher Hexmaniac count than I think Nathan is playing, and has a lot more draw trainer cards. This seems to be a slightly more conservative build, using teammates to find your things like DCE without having to dig through the deck for them. So, pretty interesting build here. So, he goes down to 4 prizes. We can go back into Vespiquen, our free retreater. And here I want to start looking to set up lethal, at least for next turn. Obviously, Crobat is one means of getting multiple KOs, so I definitely want to evolve into Golbat this turn. It's whether I want to... I think I want to use Sky Return this turn for more cards. So I think the Golbat is going to go on to Pumpkaboo. Because it would be great if I could get a Lysander for next turn to actually finish off the game. So here we are. Let me put down Shaman. I've not been hexed all game, which is pretty cool. And we do hit VS Seeker. So, if all goes to plan, we will have game next turn. I believe. Because we do have Crobat, we do have Lysander. I don't have many Pokemon. 2, 3, 4, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I'm actually 10 off of... Actually, no, that'll be perfect numbers. Because I will sacrifice my Combee after this Sky Return. And I should have perfect lethal on a Shaman if I have to Lysander play. I do obviously also have the Crobat in hand, so he needs to do a lot this turn. He needs to either Lysander kill... Actually, if he Lysander kills, then he still gives me... Where does he even... How does he even win this game? I don't really know how he stops me winning. He's lost his other Milotic, so that's always a target. He needs to Hex Maniac to prevent the Crobat, and I think he actually needs to not kill something. But I have Sycamore anyway, so I'm going to get the numbers with Vespiquen regardless. So, what can he even do here? I think he has to Lysander up a Yveltal, just so that I can't retreat. Even then I have Viesica AZ. I don't see how he wins this game. 4 prizes. I really don't see it. We're going to see Super Scoop up, so he can protect Feebas at least. Okay, he does get the heads there, so he won't be benching that Feebas at all, I'm certain of it. But he will be evolving into Milotic here, just to get more HP. We see that attachment of double colourless energy. Now what's he going to go for? He has a serious concern. We do see the VS Seeker. What's it going to be for? It is the Lysander. I think he has to go for Golbat, but he could even be swayed by going for Vespiquen here. I have got 2 Vespiquen in the discard pile. But yeah, he does go for Golbat. I think he doesn't need to go into Milotic if he is killing this Golbat, so I think he's absolutely fine here. He's obviously not to know that we have game. But there we are. So let me... So this will be 2 Pokemon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Pokemon in the discard pile, plus the 20, plus 20 more from Muscle Band. So we can attach Muscle Band, even Sycamore. Oh no, we can't Sycamore. We'll VS Seeker Lysander for game. So Nathan just considering his options here. Considering if it's worth using Sparkling Ripples, it might well be. But we do see that Night March to take his 3rd prize of the game. So we can go into Vespiquen here. And I actually want to make 100% sure. 1, 2 Pokemon. 3, 4 Pokemon. 5, 6, 7, 8 Pokemon. Plus 20 from the base damage and plus 20 more from Muscle Band should give me the game here. So if it will allow me to VS Seeker, that would be very kind of it. And that should wrap up game 1. As long as I can click the right target here. And also click the correct attack. So that is game 1 out the way. Pretty convincing. We were able to set up. I think because he plays a slightly lower Hex Maniac count than most other Night Marchers, we should be pretty okay here. So that's game 1. Let's just message him and see what he wants to do. Okay, he's just messaged me on Facebook saying give him a sec. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I'll keep the recorder running just for sake of it. I might cut it out depending on what you want. So, game 1 goes to me. That's pretty cool. So, does he want to go first or second here? That's the question. Let's have a look. I'll just drop the question here. Let's be more clear. So that was pretty nice. I think we wrapped it all up quite nicely in a neat bow. One thing I could have done that game, which I didn't do, was put more Vespiquen pieces in the discard pile early. You saw that I only just managed to kill that Shaman by the end of the game, thanks to him actually Lysandering. Had he not done that, I wouldn't have had the KO. Actually, I would have still had the KO. Okay, he's going to go second, so if I win flip, I choose first. Okay? If not, you choose as you like. There we go. We've figured it all out. We have beaten PTCGO at its own game. So let's see how we do this. Hopefully he got my messages, and we'll go into a game here. So let me just confirm he does want to go second, doesn't he? Yes. So let me drop him that challenge once again. Oh, he did message. Hold on. Oh, well. Let's carry on. I'm sure it's fine. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, he wants to go second. So we should be able to manipulate this for whoever wins the coin flip. If I win the coin flip, I choose to go first, as Nathan does want to go second. It's still, in my opinion, the right option for Night March, because they can catch things in the active. Something like a Shaman could swing him straight back into this game. So we'll see how this game 2 goes. So we are flipping that coin. He gets to choose once again. And I lost the coin flip, so he gets to choose to go first. I don't have to be involved here. That's absolutely fine. So, like you see, he chooses to go second. And we mulligan, which is pretty rare. We're playing 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 basics. So that shouldn't be happening too often. And we are going first, so Combi is the thing we want to be sacking in the active position, so that's pretty good for us. We can also bench a Zubat, which again is something we want to find very early in the game. So, let's see what we can do here. He draws for that mulligan. Once again, he starts with Shaman, which is pretty awkward for him. But we are able to battle Compressor. And first off, as always, we're going to check out our prizes. We're going to find these Golbat pieces first. And I think we look fine in those departments. Teammates is going to be one of the first things I want to put in here. Hex Maniac is something as well, so I can prevent any Milotics. And we do have Dark in the hand that I might Sycamore away, so we don't need to get rid of those. It might be that I want to put just a Compressor in. Let me count my Vespiquen pieces. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We have a 4-4 line of each, but this Combi and our active, we can assume will be dying. So we can easily dump one of those. We can use a Trainer's Mail. We get another Compressor. let's dump more compressors. That's absolutely fine by me. Would have been nice to find Ultra Ball, but this way we are getting less dead cards from our opening Sycamore, so that's also very fine. Looks like we prized a compressor, which isn't great, but I think, honestly, those are the only things I want to dump. I guess we could dump AZ, but if I ever have to Shaman, it might be, or even if he uses a target whistle, I might need AZ around. So, Muscle Band's going to hit the Zubat. Energy's going to go onto Combee. Once again, we can't attack. It would be nice to free retreat, or have energy to retreat next turn, on the off chance he doesn't kill us. So, we can then just Sycamore. And we hit a Zubat, which is pretty nice. Not much else going on in the hand, but we do have that teammates in the discard pile for VS Seeker, so next turn it could still be explosive, so let's hand it back over to Nathan and see what he wants to do here. Hopefully he can have a slightly more explosive start than game one. Straight away we see Compressor, and that's something that Night March players love to see in their opening hand. And let's see, it'll be very telling what he puts in his discard pile, what sort of hand he has. If he doesn't have a supporter, maybe just VS Seeker, he might chuck a Sycamore in there. If he's got a pretty good hand, he might just go for triple Lampent. If he goes for like double Lampent and maybe a Joltik or a Pumpkaboo, it might mean he's got some pretty awkward prizes, so should be interesting. Battle Compressor normally tells us a lot about our opponent's hand and what's in his deck as well, so let's see what he goes for here. He's doing his routine checks as well. Can't blame him for that at all. We did say no time limits, so it allowed for these sorts of things to occur. And as you can see, he did choose to put Sycamore in there. Maybe he doesn't have a supporter in hand, or maybe he just has VS Seeker. He does have some more Trainer Draw first, though, so he wants to use Acrobike. The sequencing is interesting. He may wanted to have Acrobiked first. He actually got rid of Switch, so that's pretty bad for him. I can't imagine what's more valuable than a Switch this turn if he wants to get the turn 1 attack. To stay in the prize race, it might well have been this Feebas, because they're also very clutch in this matchup, so pretty awkward Acrobike for him there. We see DC onto Shaman. Can he get Muscle Band this turn is a big question. He's already committed that double Colourless Energy. We see the VS Seeker right now for Sycamore, so he's going to hope that he can dig into it. And let's see what else he can discard. Super Scoop up AZ Lysander, so he had no real better options. He does find Muscle Band, so that's pretty strong for him. It means he's keeping up with the prize trade. He does need to find another bench Pokemon though. He might not even be able to Sky Return here. So it's not all gravy for him right now. He really cannot afford to Sky Return with that Feebas, his only Pokemon. I can Golbat drop and swoop across. He gets rid of a Pumpkaboo, so he got rid of a basic. Very interesting plays from him here. It means he must have more things, surely. Let me check the Night March counter. It's 4 of them. Again, these connection issues are starting to worry me a little bit. It would be really bad if I lost to a disconnect. We do see an Ultra Ball, so he has Pokemon. That's pretty good. He does actually end up searching for Pumpkaboo. So now he has 6 Night Marches. And we do, he does use that Sky Return to get that first prize. Where's he going to go here? It's, he chooses to go to Pumpkaboo. And we want to develop bats here. That's basically what we aim to do. We hit another VS Seeker, so I think I have to just go for double Crobat here. Or double Golbat. I could even just go Golbat drop onto Feebas and then find Yveltal. That's probably better, actually. So let's go for that. Teammates is a beastly card. We're both taking full advantage of that card in this deck, or in both of our decks. So let's grab Baby Yveltal and Golbat. Golbat the active so that we have free retreat. Slapping that onto Feebas, putting pressure on him to use Milotic early. It's kind of bad for him. He wants to use Milotic late so that he can recover DCEs, but right now he doesn't have any, so if we force him into it, it means he gets something that he doesn't quite want. Or he's forced into a Hex Maniac, so he can't use something like Lysander on this lovely looking Golbat on my bench. So we're putting him in awkward spots already this game. And we're going to hit for weakness. And I want to put the energy onto Zubat, I think, just because I already have energy in hand. And again, we're spreading the cost for what sort of Lysander target he wants, even if he can afford to Lysander, that is. So, speaking of Lysander, we get ours off the prizes, so that's pretty awesome. It's definitely a big card. It's how we won last game a turn earlier, so it's good to find that. Although we have already lost a VS Seeker, we might be going down another VS Seeker next turn. But it means we can chain teammates, and chaining teammates is really a great way of beating Night March. So, Nathan, once again, is in an awkward spot. He's lost his switch, 2 Super Scoop-Ups are gone. How is he going to move this Feebas to actually get an attack this turn? You're saying I was close to winning. Not really. Not really, because I was forced into teammates. If I top decked something like Ultra Ball, I would have had it. Okay. He's saying he had to take the risk that turn. I think I pretty much understand. Against this deck, you're put into situations that are so awkward for you that you had to make plays like that. So far, 2, 4, 6 Night Marches in the discard pile. 2 of them being Pumpkaboos, so pretty good for me. Pumpkaboo's the more dangerous of the 2 Night Marchers. And Nathan was clearly aware of that. We saw him opting for Pumpkaboo over Joltik for the majority of Game 1. So he's clearly aware of it. 6 Night Marchers isn't enough yet, if he wants to kill us with another Pumpkaboo this turn, though. So he might have to find Muscle Band. Oh no, he has Muscle Band in hand from that Sky Return that we saw. So he will be able to kill our active if he's able to move this Feebas. So far he's using Compressor. I don't think he's put teammates in there just yet, so that could be a target this turn if he has VS Seeker. It might well be, indeed. Once again, this being trolled by the internet thing. Okay, so we see a 7th Night Marcher go in. We see Hex Maniac as well as teammates go into his discard pile. So he's got a lot of VS Seeker targets. Which one's it going to be? This turn he goes for teammates. So we do have our bat options next turn, which looks pretty good for us. I wonder what targets he's going for with his teammates. It'd be really interesting if he plays 2 switch. I think it's really conservative to play 2 switch in a Night March deck. He could even go for Milotic just so that he can find that switch back out of his discard pile. That would be an interesting play. So it's probably going to be Night Marcher, then Milotic. That's probably what I would say here if he's looking to get the KO this turn. So here is Joltik. Then we see Milotic. This is exactly what I was thinking. Great plays by Nathan. If he's looking for switch here, I'd imagine that's what he's going for, just to keep up with prize trade. Indeed, is exactly as I imagined. Great plays from him. Getting more HP on this little old Feebas that would probably have died. And he's going to be able to get a kill with Joltik here and keep himself in this vicious prize race that we are locked in right now. So next turn, we do have the teammates option available to us. He also puts Muscle Band. Okay, he puts it on the bench. That's the right place to put it. So that you can get another card with Shame in here. An extra card, sorry. So he drew up to 3 cards there. It means because Milotic's the thing you want to Super Scoop up, you can reuse that Muscle Band later. And obviously Joltik, he's assuming it's going to die. We do see that Super Scoop up. It does indeed get heads. It's going to be interesting if he just wants to pick up Shaman. The Feebas is, again, it's a liability if he wants to pick it up and put it back down, because he couldn't Hex Maniac. And if I just find one Crobat, I can use Surprise Bite on the active or on the bench, and then use Skill Dive on the active or on the bench, and kill the 230 HP Pokemon in front of me right now. And that's just from one target of my teammates. I also have the option to use something else. So it's looking pretty good for me here, I would say. I wonder what he's going for. Again, being trolled by this Wi-Fi, it's really worrying me. It could just be that he's taking a while to decide. It could just be that the internet is crashing. But he went for Shaman. It's definitely the safer play. I think if he's not hexing me, he has to be going for that play. So good plays from him. He actually puts a D-Valley into play. That means that I don't even need to attach to Crobat next turn, which is awesome. I get to keep the DCE in hand for other targets. It might mean that my second target with teammates is going to actually be Combee here. So we see another Battle Compressor. And what can he really put in here that's going to help him out too much? Maybe any extra Lampants that he's got lying around. Other than that, I don't think too many things are going to go here. Maybe another Compressor if he has it. But who knows? I need to stop looking at the discard pile. I'm missing things in front of me. Ross is going to get angry. Oh, he got rid of some D-Valleys. Sorry about that. Sorry, Ross. I know you're trying to commentate, but I need to see my opponent's discard pile. I'm sure you can understand. It's a final after all. So, here we are, Night March, hitting for weakness, definitely getting the KO, no questions asked. So he does put down a Feebas, so I have the option for 2 prizes here, and I'm definitely going to take that option, by the way. It's just how I want to take them. Get another VS Seeker, so we have, again, set up another perfect situation for us. Here is teammates. Let's grab him. Let's use teammates. Grab Combee. Grab Golbat. So we have attackers for next turn. And we have 2 prizes this turn to keep us up with a race. I really don't feel like I need to play that double colourless in case he has anything crazy. Come on, let me use Surprise Bite. Place those counters onto Feebas. I get to take it before the thing as well, so I could get another playable card here. Looks like we get Ultra Ball, and that's a really nice pickup, actually. So, I'm going to be using that this turn. It means that I can protect Crobat if I really need to here. Do I need to? He's lost his switch. He's lost that Feebas. I'd still want to keep a Combee around just because of I want to develop Vespiquen for a Lysander play. So I think it's actually fine just to take the prize with Golbat here. Getting a few more cards with the Shaman could have been okay as well. But I feel like we're still in such a strong position. I'm closing out the game a bit quicker by having Vespiquen still in hand. And if the Crobat dies, I'm setting up more Pokemon in the discard pile. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll go to 5, 6, 7 with the Crobat. So I'll be at 90 with Vespi next turn. So that can kill like a Milotic or something. I still have the VS Seeker. So if Shaman ends up being active in some manner, I could Golbat drop for that 110. Without even using... obviously, if he keeps Shaman in the active, he's probably going to lose anyway. So we see a VS Seeker from him. And what's this going to be? I feel like I've put him in the situation where it has to be teammates. And that's really nice for us. Because if he's not using teammates, it means I have my bats. And the bats can do a huge shift in this game. As you've seen already, Crobat just took 2 prizes last turn. I want to see how many VS Seekers he's gone through as well. 3? Yeah. Okay. 1 VS Seeker left. How many DC have gone? I'm someone who constantly looks at discard piles. I'm often looking at it more than my opponent looking at his own discard, and sometimes I'm just there rifling through and he's waiting for me to finish. I always want to have as much info as possible. Because there are sometimes outs in certain games that you didn't think possible just based on what they've discarded. For example, we saw really early he got rid of that switch, and that really has hurt him. It's meant that Milotic had to get an awkward target, and this turn he might be out of an attack. He might even have to Lysander here. He might have to Lysander... Oh no, he used teammates. What am I talking about? So let's see what targets he's gone for here. Could even be an escape rope. If he takes escape rope, that could be a way of getting a prize this turn, which would be really awesome. I think going into... thanks to the new Jirachi promo, a lot of people in Night March might be playing one escape rope rather than the one switch, or in addition to the one switch. Actually, no, probably not in addition because they have Floatstone now as well. So just playing that one escape rope so that they can still get around Jirachi, which is a problem for Night March for sure. But wow, very slow from him. Just a Sky Return. Going into probably Milotic here, you would imagine. What does he go into? Yeah, it's going to be Milotic that's going to take the sack here. So we get Ultra Ball. Does Ultra Ball help us? Not too much. I think I just want to kill Pumpkaboo. I have literally just had everything this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 4. We're absolutely fine. And this means we get to keep Crobat nice and healthy. It does mean we're risking our Vespiquen. But I feel like we're in such an assertive position that we can do that. I really hope the game isn't frozen. That would really suck. Uh-oh. Please work, game. Please don't cut out. I don't want to click on anything else. Seems to be trying to struggle. Come on. Third world internet. There we go. Hooray. We take a knockout. So, and we take a prize. It's a baby Yveltal. That's nice. Our opponent goes back into Milotic. He's 2 prizes down. And he's going to have to struggle to find a way of getting this Milotic out of the active. I really think it's an uphill battle for Nathan at this point. And that really was the idea of the Vespiquen deck, to be honest. We do see an attachment onto Joltik. We see a VS Seeker. What's it going to be for? AZ. Okay, so he can move Milotic and actually just take 1 prize this turn. Makes a lot of sense. At this point, does he bench... I think he has to bench Feebas if that's his only basic Pokemon. He can't bench Shaman simply because that's a Lysander target. So I think Feebas is the right thing to bench. I don't think he's able to bench Shaman because it could lose him the game. Straight up, so... Yeah, we just see the Night March. I think he's just really in an awful spot here. We once again have teammates, so we can take a prize with Yveltal here. We have another Combee. Do I even want to bench it? It's kind of a Lysander target. I know it sounds ridiculous at this point, but desperate times, you know. I think we're just so vastly far ahead. You can see I've used teammates 3 times this game, I think. Really a huge card. I actually ended up putting this card in like 10 minutes before the end of registration. And it was the best thing I could have done. Do I want Golbat here? Or do I even just take Vespi? Vespi means that I can actually kill the Milotic next turn as it comes down. I think that's fine. I could go for Golbat just to set up more Crobat, but that's kind of weak to Hex. So I think I want to bench Comey just so that I have that option. And we will attach, move ourselves out of that active position. And again, no need to evolve just yet, just because he could somehow make a play that involves Lysander. So we didn't win this turn, but look at the prize trade. We've got 1 to go. How does he take 3 in a turn? Night March is a linear attacking deck. He can only take a maximum of 1 per turn when I have a board like this. And I feel like the game at this point is pretty much wrapped up. It's just a case of actually hitting what we need to hit next turn, which is any form of energy, essentially. 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, it's going to be... we can't move Yveltal. Oh wow, he Ultra Balled away the Milotic. Oh, I keep missing what he gets. Okay, he gets Pumpkaboo. Can he move this active Pokemon this turn? He attaches to Pumpkaboo. Now he can start playing Shamans for more cards, because either way I've only got 1 prize left now, so he may as well drop everything. Oh, he had another Milotic, so that makes sense. So it looks like he's going for the switch here, just to take 1 more prize. So I can Ultra Ball for Golbat, and then Skill Dive for game. Yeah, he grabs that switch. And really, I got set up both games quite nicely. And that's just really, really painful for him. I don't see what else he can really do here. He's made every play that he has had available to him to give himself the best chance. We do see that Shaman finally coming down for some more cards. Anything else that can help him, maybe. But really, I think it's based on what I do, rather than what he does. And both games I was able to manipulate teammates to the fullest advantage to really lock out our opponent. He started Shaman both games as well, which really is awful for him. It really slowed him down. So yeah, we have the game locked out now. All we need to do is go into Crobat. And we can search out our Golbat. Get a little bit sneaky up in here onto our opponent's active Pokemon. And thanks to that Muscle Band that we have, we can use Skill Dive to finish off the game. So, good games, Nathan. I get to open an extra 12 packs. And I get the trophy that's coming my way anyway. So, I am the official and unofficial winner of London Regionals. So, it feels good to say that. I will just thank Nathan. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Let me give you one last look at the deck list. And he does congratulate me on that win. And he pretty much played it as best he could. But literally every play I was saying he could have done, he did make. So he gave himself the best opportunity to win that game. But I didn't see how he could just based on my own setup. So there it is, guys. There's the deck. Great Night March matchup, as you saw. Against a very good Night March player, I was still able to take out the win. So I'm going to keep chatting to Nathan, and I'll leave you guys there. So hope you guys all enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next time. Hope you stick around as well for this regionals report, because it should be good. Definitely an interesting deck, and you might want to hear why I play some of these kooky cards as well. So It's been Joe. I'll see you guys next time. And I'm on 330 championship points. I'll see you at Worlds.